Time for page 31. Let's begin. Number 2. Before we graph these equations, we have to first put them in slope-intercept form. That means we solve for y. Y equals mx plus b. The first thing we need to do is get the y term by itself. We don't want the x on this side. We want the x on the right side of the equal sign. So we will subtract x from both sides, and that gives us 3y equals, that's negative x. Remember, we do the x term first. You do the variable term and then the constant. Negative x plus 0. Now, we divide by 3 because we want to get the times 3. We want to get rid of it. The opposite of times 3 is divided by 3. So we'll divide everything by 3. Left with y equals. We'll separate out the terms. Negative x over 3 plus 0 over 3. That gives us y equals. We're going to pull the x away from the fraction. So it's going to be negative 1/3 x. The 3's on the bottom. We pull the x away. So that's why it's 1/3 plus 0. The standard way when you have a plus 0 is just to leave it blank and do y equals negative 1/3 x. But it might make it easier to just keep the plus 0. You decide what you prefer. Number 3, solving for y. The first thing we'll do, as before, is get the y term by itself. Notice that it's negative. Kind of circle the whole thing. We want to get rid of the positive 3x, so we will subtract 3x from both sides. When we do that, this cancels out and we're left with negative 4y equals negative 3x, and then we've got negative 16. Now we want to, now we want to get rid of the times negative 4. So we will divide by negative 4. And then we'll have to also divide this side by negative 4. The negative 4 cancels out and we have just y equals negative 3x divided by negative 4. Negative 16 divided by negative 4. Remember that we separate out the terms. Now, let's see what we've got. Y equals, we've got negative 3x over negative 4. So we've got two negatives. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. And we're going to pull that x away from the fraction. So it'll be positive 3/4 x plus negative 16 divided by negative 4 is positive 4. Now that they are in slope-intercept form, we can go ahead and graph them. Do you see that the lines haven't been given? The x and y axis have not been drawn. So I guess I'll use a pen this time. Let's go ahead and draw them. This maybe will work. X. And then we'll do the y. okay if it's not perfectly in the center. I'm going to try to get it, but every now and then when I do these, I have, 3 on one side and 4 on the other. But as long as I have enough points to plot the line, we're fine. Excuse me, yawn yawn. All right, so we have slope-intercept form. Remember that in slope-intercept form, the B is the y-intercept. And when we're drawing a line from slope-intercept form, we need to do the y-intercept form first because we need a point before we can establish the slope. So the y-intercept is 0. Here's my y, 0. Then the slope is negative 1/3. So I will go, since it's negative 1/3, I will go down 1. Because it's negative, I go down, and over 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I've got my 2 points, which are enough to draw a line. But first, I'm going to do this one, and then I'll go back and draw the line. Then I just get the ruler out at the same time. Start with my y-intercept 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And my slope is positive 3/4. Go up 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. Over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? What if I go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and to the left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can better see it. If you go down and to the left, that'll stay positive. If you go down and to the right, then it becomes negative. See, watch. From this point, I can do up 3 over 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how you know that is a positive 3/4 slope. I checked that. Now we shall do that. There's our first line. And our second line, let's see, trying to get it precise. And that is line number 2. And next, we'll go down to number 5. All I'm going to do in number 5 is help you get it into the slope-intercept form. I just noticed something. Once you have it in slope-intercept form, I'd like to see you chart it yourself or draw the line. Here's our y term that we need to get by itself. So let's add 3x to both sides so we can get rid of it, at least on this side. Plus 3x cancels out, gone. So now we have 2y by itself plus 3x plus 6. Oh, that feels much better. Our next goal is to get just the y by itself. We'll have to divide by 2. And what we do to this side, we have to do to this side. This leaves me with y equals, I'm going to separate the terms, 3x over 2 plus 6 over 2. Now I'm going to come up here and draw it. So continue, y equals, got 3x over 2, so I'm going to pull that x away from the fraction. So I have 3 over 2 times x plus 6 divided by 2 is 3. So there is our slope-intercept equation. Always start with the y-intercept. Find the y-intercept here, and then the positive slope.
And don't forget to do 1 and 4.